It's 5 o'clock.
And it's Crackerjack.
A meteor storm that the sky above us was dancing with lights. Purple, green, brilliant yellow, yes! What? These shoes! They fit perfectly. Yes.
But James, I need you.
So does England.
There are worlds out there where the sky is burning, where the seas asleep and the rivers dream. People made of smoke and cities made of song. Somewhere there's danger, somewhere there's injustice, and somewhere else the tea's getting cold. Come on, Ace. We've got work to do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They have work to do. I tell you, look, I'm very complimentary about my own abilities. I am. Maybe some may say overly complimentary. That may be true, right? I'm very complimentary about myself. But that intro, I think the juxtaposition of the greatest moment in James Bond, well, one of the greatest moments, okay? One of the greatest moments in James Bond. Another great moment in James Bond history was when Robbie Coltrane sneaks up on Daniel Craig in his first movie. Was it Casino Royale? And when was it Pierce Bronson speaks up on Robbie Coltrane, right? And he puts his gun to her head and cocks it, and Robbie Coltrane goes, what's the name of this character? I can't remember. Goes, Walther, 9mm. I only know 3 people who use such a weapon, and I have killed 2 of them. Good afternoon, Mr. Bond. I mean, that was one of the greatest lines. Yeah, I mean, we can agree. One of the greatest lines. But James, I need you. Oh, but James, I need you. Of course, she was a Russian spy. That slut, right? By the way, I have to ask you, do you think, where is it? Do you think this thumbnail was going too far? I don't know. Let me know in the chat, right? I'm doing this pretty early on, right? So this is from the story last night of anybody who was on the Biden side of reality hates the success of The Sound of Freedom, right? And is seemingly really, really happily okay with child sex trafficking. Right, so the bonkers hatred of Donald Trump for opposing child sex trafficking. Trump derangement syndrome in 2023 is just weird. It just is, right? And I go, Uncle, this is back in his more lucid days, like, a couple of years ago. Hey, man, being a child sex slave is a small price to pay for not having a Trump presidency. Anyway, we all know you little sluts love it. Is that going too far? I don't know. You, the jury, decide. I think it might be. I think I'm going to do this, right? I think we're going to go for that one. Anyway, I have to finish early, and we're starting early, and we're finishing early. I have to finish by my time 7:15. So by your time it'll be 5:15, right? Because Sabbath, right, comes in. Oh, listen. Where is it? Let me. I got the little chart. In fact, there's a few things you need to know. Here, 1 second. Doink. So I was just saying, by the way, the juxtaposition of, but James, I need you. Compared to going straight into Joe 90. Down. Oh man, I love it. Joe 90. I didn't really like the show. But I did like the music, right? I did like the music. Here we go. 1 second. Doink. Share screen. Doink. Fine. So Sabbath starts. Candlelighting is at 7:22. That's 5:22 for you, baby, right? So if I'm going to synagogue, I might do. I haven't decided. I got to get changed, everything. I have the light that I use to illuminate my beautiful face. But it's actually the Sabbath lamp. It's very complicated. It's a lamp that you can use on Sabbath that my mother-in-law uses when she's staying here. And she's here, but she's basically here every week now, which I think I feel kind of happy about. I like that. Anyway, 7:22, you'll see. You have to light the candles. Then you've got 18 minutes after that. So 7:40, right? But if I want to go to synagogue, if I want to go to my regular one, it's at 7. That's 5:30 your time in England, right? You want to go to Kolbach? I want to shoot myself in the face. Kolbach is like evening services, but they sing a lot. They got all these songs they sing. And I look at them and go, what do you put this singing for? Well, only why are you so happy? You seem suspect to me that you're so fucking happy. You need to calm down. Stop with your singing, faggots. Right? Stop it, right? That's just the way I look at it. Okay. And then Sabbath ends at 8:25, getting earlier. Anyway, but then here's the big one, right? On Wednesday night, right? You cannot eat any water or drink water or eat food, nothing, right? From 7:40 at night till when? 7:45? No. Till 8:07 the next day. Right, 7:40 to 8:07. So, by the way, a good little what was the word? Home remedy, right? That my mother-in-law's second husband told me. Right, she only had 2. Right, was if you have some unsalted almonds before a fast, it makes it go pretty easy. That's actually very true, right? So then, okay, you're not eating, drinking. It gets worse, right? You can still like watch TV and stuff. So most people just lay in bed and watch, whatever, just make the time go by. I find Yom Kippur, which is a similar type of fast, much easier because you're in the synagogue, you're praying. I feel much more focused. But anyway, so then at 7:40 it starts. At 8:15, you have to make sure, by the way, you're not wearing any leather shoes. You're not allowed to wear leather shoes on Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, I should say. And at 8:15, you go for the evening service, and they have this book they read called Echa, Lamentations, and it's done in like this more and everybody sits on the floor. I don't. I'm like pissed off. I'm not getting. If I sit on the floor, I'm not getting up again. So I sit in the chair. They turn like the lights down. They take down there's like there's a nice curtain in front of the cupboard that we keep the Torah scroll in, right? That goes down, and this thing goes on for a while, but then that's easy compared to the next day when you got Keynote. Keynote is a night. I'll bring you the book, I think, next time I do a stream so you can see how thick it is. It's just like insanely complex pute after insanely complex pute with like really arcane language that nobody really understands about how things were shitty in different times. Like, oh Lord, it was shitty then. Let me tell you about the shittiness. And you sit on the floor. And then by noon, you can not sit on the floor, which I don't do that anyway. It's me. So I'm probably not streaming on Thursday. Is the bottom line. Anyway, so I got to finish this by 8:15, right? 8:15. I mean 7:15 my time, 5:15 your time, right? So we will have a more condensed show. However, I had a couple of thoughts that I really wanted to share with you, right? I had this really cool idea for a story. Okay, one of my jobs I have to do this Sabbath, right, is sit down and work out the beats for the last third of this story I'm writing for Dr. Alex. I got to do that this Sabbath, right? I'm just going to sit and I'm going to do it, right? So then but I've had all these other story ideas going on, so maybe this is a good time to come to me. Anyway, imagine I don't know, some kind of X-Files-y thing, and somebody works out there's a couple of agents from the future, right? They're in our time doing something, and it turns out what they're doing is they're setting up some kind of temporal camera. Why do they have a temporal camera? Because they come to 2023 to warn the past. If they don't change their ways, they're going to end up in this reality, right? And just to show the TV of a few of the things that are normal and commonplace. Let me pull a few of these things up. I always have them ready just in case. That one. Where's the military? The military one is my favorite now. There's that one. That one. Doink. Where'd they go? Where they all go? There they are. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Right, they just show them stuff like this, right? They just show them like this is normal in 2023. if you don't change your ways, right? Right. And I think everybody there's a huge religious revival because of it. So yeah, we're fighting to stop them doing this, so they won't destroy our world, right? Calvin Klein in 1992, in 2022. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I thought that was kind of a fun story. Like that this shouldn't be able to happen. Yeah, Yasmin, shut up. Okay, whatever, darling. So yeah. But this shall be replaying at 6 o'clock. Right? I'm going to take it down after this, and it'll be on as a premiere. So the other idea I had, which I thought was kind of fun, was I kind of imagine like an enemy mine sort of thing. Like somebody is trapped with a Dalek in a cell, right? And the Dalek is like broken up. He doesn't have a gun, can't really move, right? And so he could just talk to the guy, right? And over a period of I can imagine being like a play. Over the period of the two-hander, eventually the guy dies, but the Dalek works out that their way of self-preservation is ultimately flawed, and altruism and kindness ensure survival in a much stronger way, right? And he wants to try and communicate that to the rest of the Dalek world. Right, I did thought I'd love to see that Dalek turnaround, Dalek using that Dalek logic. Right, I think that'll be really quite cool. But before we get to the chat, yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is, but I think Gort has either been very good or very bad. Very good. I mean, listen, he didn't have that laser thing coming out of his ass, so maybe he wished he did. Right, Nut, Plato, Rabo, Galicto, Rabim. Oh God, does that mean turn us into this world? Right, I mean, I don't know. Weirdly enough, the thing that disturbs me most is Donkey Colonel here, right? I mean, this one you could kind of weirdly convince me is a sexual identity, not a kink. I don't know how, but you kind of have, right? This you can't convince me is a sexual identity. This is a kink, right? That is a kink. We live in strange times, very, very strange times. Anyway, Sabbath is coming, and we're the Sabbath. We're having my son is here, who's engaged, and his fiance, and my daughter and my mother-in-law. So yeah, it's kind of a nice low-key one. So I don't know. Am I going to send it or not? I don't know. It's I kind of like the idea of collapsing on the couch. That sounds really quite good. Time will tell. Anyway, let's get to the chat. Earlier, so look at me. Early on, moving through. I'm very impressed with myself. The audio starters is it. Eki thought we're early. Eki thought we are. Yes, I've explained that. Yeah, that's what's for opening 10 minutes talking about that. Jordan Lee is here. How you doing, Jordan Lee? The garbage is here. How are you doing, garbage? Hello, one and all says garbage. Or hello to you, garbage. Colin Archer is here. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. I do like your special weapons Dalek avatar, right? There was a few of those special weapon Dalek. I don't know, spin-offs. There were different versions of it came out in the 90s. You had that looked like a black Dalek with these two big guns on its side. Was it the 90s or the early 2000s? That thing was is that you? Is that what you have? I can't tell. Right, I can't tell. But yeah, that was fun time. Gareth Morgan is here. How you doing, Gareth Morgan? Thank you for joining us. Matteo Conti. Sorry, we didn't get to the. Matteo's got this great thing we have to look at, which is a voyage into insanity, looking into the mind of a trans activist, right? Well, I try and juggle things a little bit and make we did quite a lot of politics last night. By the way, who thinks this thumbnail is actually prophetic, right? This is why not? Why not indeed? Doctor Who butt plug. I don't see why not. I have the greatest confidence in fools. My friends call it self-confidence. Edgar Allan Poe. He said a few clever things. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. How you doing, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde? Thank you for joining us. Gareth, I'm sure I just said hello to you, but I'll say hello again. You get to argue with Twitter. I don't know why. Twitter, by the way, I had a new clue into my my account being nuked. Right. Apparently, it coincided with the right after the new CEO came into place, right? And there's all this new anti-freedom of speech algorithms inserted back into it. So okay, I guess that was that. Thank God for Rumble, right? Thank God for Rumble. Let me make sure we are rumbling right now. Yes, we are. We are on Rumble. There you go. Let me refresh. Right, if you're on Rumble, please follow and hit the like button, hit the Rumble button, I should say. Right, all those things are very good. I had a very trying day today. I said not trying. Actually, it was quite good. I've had this little snake. Right, I thought it was a snake, but it wasn't because it grew legs. Right, and it was a teeny tiny thing. Right, it was. And my mother-in-law saw it about a month or so ago. Right, then I saw it. And I thought it was quite cute. It was like wiggling its way out. Anyway, that was all fun and games until it discovered my toilet. Right, I have a toilet down here. I think it's cute, but I don't want it going up my toilet leg while I'm having a poo. Like I'm sure Russell would absolutely empathize with me on this one. Right, I don't want that happening. That sounds like it would be bad. Right, so. Fortunately, my son was there. My son was in the army, and like he's Israeli, so he can go and he's like more outdoors. He can cope with these things. So, are you okay with these things? And he was right. He coaxed it into the dustpan, right? And I said, "Don't kill it. I kind of like it. Don't kill it, right?" And he like this. So I bring the broom dustpan down again, and then on my way down, clunk, right? I bought this one of those only times I ever did this collector's edition of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek Blu-ray, right? Because it came with this. Now, I will make it fall apart by doing this, right? Doink here. Right, because it came with this phaser, right? And, I have to tell you, I was a big fan of that first J.J. movie, right? I thought it was a lot of fun. So I knocked it down, and this thing broke into like a million pieces. I was like, oh, man. So I just managed, right, to... glue it all back together. I was having this existential moment going, I am somewhat stressed out that I won't be able to fix properly a fake space gun from a movie I ultimately think it was bad for the world. Right? It was ultimately destructive for Star Trek. Why do I care? I don't know. There's also a new movie from Studio Behind Sound Arena called The Shift, and I like to look at it. Yeah, listen, I like that they have general movies. And it's not like Sound of Freedom. It's not like a Christian movie. It's like a movie for people who don't like, filth constantly. Anyway, the reason I think about the Daleks, because I was listening to the new Once and Future with Sylvester McCoy. We got the trailer for it. It's excellent, right? I'm really enjoying this, right? I am really genuinely enjoying this one.
This is Davros.
By the way, this is done very well. Like I mean, it looks like it's done on a bit of a budget, but really, it's I think it really works.
Is Davros calling Gallifrey? The Dalek Emperor has accused me of treason, and yet they lack the courage to execute me. Given their disloyalty, I no longer feel any moral obligation towards them.
Again, I think this was very well put together, very clever. The story's great. I mean, okay, this is why I'm enjoying Once and Future, because it's essentially what it says in the tin. It's a huge anniversary season, not a special, a season. So you have 6 or 7 or 8 different episodes of super anniversary frothy stuff. So this one, the Doctor's on his mission to find out why he has unstable regeneration, keeps splitting between them, and you get a nice cameo of Stephen Noonan's first Doctor and was it Michael Troughton's second Doctor? Like as he flips before he ends on McCoy. So he's taken out of his mission by Ken Bones, the Time Lord General, because Davros has said he wants to betray the Daleks, but he'll only give himself up to the Doctor to rescue him, right? And I found that a really intriguing premise, right? And always having Sylvester McCoy and not Michael Wisher and Terry Malloy's Davros, they spark against each other.
And so I make a simple plea to the Time Lords of Gallifrey. Liberate me from captivity, and I will help you defeat the Daleks. I do, however, have one condition. I wish to be rescued by the Time Lord known as the Doctor.
again, this is a very clever trailer in that they can easily have like simplified model services without it seeming fake, right? It's that they are supposed to be models.
You're mad. Insane.
So I think this is the best of the 3 releases they've had so far. It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Even if we do survive, then what?
That's the problem with making it up as you go along. Hopefully, something will turn up.
Yeah, that was good. I'm enjoying that. Anyway, that's why I was contemplating Daleks, because I just thought, wouldn't that be a great one-man play for Nick Briggs? Like a Dalek, basically a two-hander with a Dalek. He can't fire, he can't move, and they have to talk philosophy, right? And he eventually ggets talked around into the idea that altruism, right? I like that idea. I do like that idea. Anyway. Did you like the Facebook thumbnail? Say screw. Yes, I did. Although my favorite Facebook thing recently is the discussion of Death of the Daleks with Simon and Stephen Noonan. Oh man, those people know their stuff. Yeah, again, Stephen Noonan, who plays the first Doctor, really good. Like really, really good. I really enjoyed that. It wasn't a stream, it was a video. I really enjoyed it. It's really worth checking out. Saturday night have a movie called The Shift. We'll have a look at that on Sunday, maybe. It's coming out like later in this year. Don Lewis is here. The elite see Trump as a dire threat to their status, wealth, and power. Yes, they do. Right. But you know what amazes me? How many people do not see through the bullshit? Right. It's so. I look at it and you go, how stupid are you? Like again, my feminist friend who's probably going to steer clear from me, right? Because I blew her mind. Like it totally blew her mind. She was talking about she bought into the whole new abortion ban in America because she basically believes the reason that religious people want abortion is it's a way to control women, right? That's what when it gets down to it, I think that's what she really believes, right? I don't think she's really considered is the thing you're killing a life or not, right? But that's not even the question. Not is it alive or isn't it? Not when does life start? The question is, does it matter? Right? Is life sacred? Right? If you're on the Joe Biden side of the fence, no, you can have postpartum abortions. Right? You can kill it. It doesn't matter as long as if it's only affecting you. Yeah, why not? Right? Yeah, that's really the and if you're on that side of the fence, you're on that side of the fence. I think life matters. Right? I think life matters enough that we should just hesitate maybe before you kill a baby. Just hesitate, right? I understand women have a right to choose, but just hesitate. Maybe you're choosing to kill a baby. Just think that through for a second. I don't know. And again, that's not taking anything away from you. Anyway, so I blew her mind because she really yes, because I brought up the case from the abortion doctor in Indiana who took this 10-year-old needing an abortion. That was a terrible thing. A 10-year-old needing abortion, but took the kid over state lines, saying that she wouldn't be able to perform the abortion with the new Indiana restrictions, which of course was a lie, right? It was a complete fallacy, which everybody then just went, yeah, right? And Indiana kept saying, no, that's why we're consequencing her, right? They didn't arrest her, but they gave her some kind of professional rebuke. I really can't remember what it was, because in essence, she used this little girl to make a political point, right? And to do a political stunt, which is completely unnecessary. So I said that to her, and it just melted her mind a bit. Like, what? Because it's the inverse of reality, right? The reason why she supports the trans stuff is because she heard trans children go, it's not my puberty, no, right? She's heard the crying, right? She hasn't heard the other crying. And the only reason she heard this crying is because Klaus Schwab wants to hear that crying. They haven't heard the other crying of the kids going, oh my God, I cut my tits off. What the fuck? What am I going to do? So yeah, they do see Trump as a big block to that. More they see him as a extinction level threat to their elite status and ideology, and they are correct, and that is going to happen. He freaks them out bigly, right? And everything stems from that. I've heard horrible things about Barbie movie that audiences are told all men are beyond redemption. Shooty Cat drew a line in the sand involving herself in it. Yeah, listen, I mean, like, that's Gareth Morgan. I mean, how much woker can it be? I hear it's very, very woke, right? It's always woker than you can possibly expect. Are there medical exemptions? Yes, there are. There are. Although this is one of the ones people try and push themselves to. But like, if you're pregnant, for example, you can. I mean, firstly, if the doc tells you to eat, you got to eat. Okay, I mean there's that. But like, let's say you're pregnant and you're trying to fast, then you can have like 9 cc's or 12 cc's of water every 12 minutes without technically breaking the fast. But the biggest days for childbirth in Israel is 2 days after the 9th of Av, the fast of the 9th of Av, and 2 days after the fast of Yom Kippur. Right, so that's got to have some kind of factor to it, right? But yeah, yes, there are. There's medical exemptions for everything, but it's not like the medical exemption for euthanasia, right? Which you have in Canada now. Like, say, oh, you stubbed your toe, want to die? Yeah, good enough. I mean, it's kind of like that, you know. That I think, is it Canada where they're allowing euthanasia for like infant to 5-year-olds or so, right? Like, you know, maybe you want to think that through. You know, maybe you want to hold out to your 7. No. It's a dead end, is it? I guess so. I mean, that's just evil. But again, it's not when does life start. It's does it matter? Does life matter? In Canada, they say no. Anyway, it says euthanasia, they say no. As I see it, all the more reason to never watch the next iteration of New Who. Well, I'm going to give it a go. Fine, let me whiz through that. Mark TV, are you also Mark the Vicar? You look like Mark the Vicar. I watched a 6-watt replay. How did I comment? Temporal trap in chat. That is very impressive. I think more people should learn how to do that. What about the spider Daleks? What about them? Right? They were never. I like the spider Daleks, but they were never a thing, right? I mean, we saw like a spider Dalek-y ship in the like this little, instead of the Dalek hoverbouts, right? In Day of the Doctor. But that's about it, right? That's about it. What about 2? Cunning Monkey has a new video for three doctors. I saw. Somebody just said it to me. I like Cunning Monkey, right? He does. That's the next thing I'm going to do. I want to re-edit my copy of my HD copy of the Time Monster with his upgrades. A snake grew between my legs. I think you should see the doctor. So you're like, yeah, that is true. That's true. The Doctor 6th anniversary commemorative butt plug. That is a product I believe would really. It's real in this sick degenerate. So it really coming. It really should be. Listen, what are you anti-sex? The Dalek Emperor looks like a crab. Yeah, I liked it's kind of like a more proto version of it, right? I thought that looked good. Matthew Burrows is here. I saw an interview with shooting for Rolling Stone. Oh, don't! You want to shoot yourself, right? And no, everything he says is bad. Right, and keep your shirt on, shooting. How about that? BBC should have told some of the Daleks what they can never do. They have exterminated Doctor Who. BBC have done what Daleks can never do. They exterminated Doctor Who. Pretty much, right? Pretty much. They have not done it any favors. Let's put it that way. I mean, let's see what Russell's going to do. Right? That's what I keep saying. Let's see what Russell's going to do. Speaking of which, that's a good segue. Hang on. Peter Rich is here. How you doing, Peter Rich? I don't know. Listen, every time I was going to say so many times. Every time I go, it can't be as woke as all that. It can't be that bad. Every time I said that, it's been like a billion times worse, right? I mean, about Chibnall's second series of Doctor Who, maybe got it right this time, right? Maybe they pulled it together. It's 100 times worse the second season, right? So like I keep saying, oh, maybe Russell won't screw it up, right?Maybe, and I'm always wrong. Okay, I mean you can be always wrong so many bloody times before you go, yeah, you're always wrong. Well, let's see what he's got to say for himself, right? Let's see what he's got to say for himself. As he types away there, he looks very thin in that drawing, Russell. Who did that drawing? Illustration by Martin Garrity. Fine. Rossi Gamers gives the latest update from Doctor Who headquarters in Cardiff. Knock, knock, knock. Okay. I know nothing. Nothing. I walk around Wall Studios and know nothing about what people do. It's a bigger production, I think he's saying. Right? I know nothing. Not a blinking thing. There are fleets of them, hordes of staff, hardest working crew in the land, all heaving and sweating, groaning. See, this is what is terrifying me. All these people working really hard to look like they're making great Doctor Who. Right? They look like they're working really hard to do it. And I'm just terrified they're doing shit. And it's going to be great looking shit. But, oh, God, I hope that all this work isn't for nothing, Russell. Right? And maybe, being so concerned about Jinx fucking Monsoon and Yasmin Finney might not have been your best play right now. Right? May not have been your best idea. Maybe up there with John Nathan Turner on Colin Baker's jacket, right? Maybe not your best one. All heaving, sweating, staring, hammering, bewailing, doing what? I have no idea. Case in point, there's a great set in the very last block of 2024. It only appears. Oh, great set. Fine. It only appears with one scene, but it's a crucial scene with a really lovely guest star, unseen by public and unannounced by press, because the scene takes place secretly with the studio, so we got a nice surprise to come. That's the other thing. Maybe my humor will be lifted a bit when I start seeing the cool surprises that I don't know about, right? When I start seeing Matt Smith and Tom Baker and motion capture Sylvester McCoy, that's like when I start seeing, the stuff, maybe I'll be a little bit less pissy. But right now, I'm just saying, Yasmin Finney, yay! What was that stupid headline here? This is the headline, Yasmin Finney's. I've always had the mindset of an independent woman. You're 19! Nobody at 19 has always done fucking anything. Oh, God. Every 19-year-old thinks they have. Fine. So there's great. It's a crucial scene with a really lovely guest. I don't think my public announced because there's the scene takes place at 5. Over this scene has been hotly debated. This much I know. Should it exist? Is it needed? It's been in. It's been out. It's been reinstated. It's been cut again until finally it stayed. It's in. It's out. Status betrayed by its designation on scene 27B. Scene 221B. Baker Street. Hardly an address that engenders confidence. That's a 221B. That was what? Speckled Band. Jeremy Brett. Oh, gorgeous, right? I was talking about the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Well, if you didn't know. So I'm in the art department with Phil Sims, our designer. He shows the design for season 27B, drawn by Reese Iffen, our senior art director. Oh, they're good. I'm glad they're all getting about. It's a great, lovely, haunting and atmospheric and beautiful. But I look at the pile of rocks in the drawing, and bear in mind that I know nothing. But I say, could that be? I don't know. More. I don't know. More what? Can it be? I don't know. An actual thing. Most things are. What do you mean? God, this is like me talking to my clients. Like a fallen statue. That's very modern. Falling statues. I glow with modernness. Okay, so whatever this thing is has a bunch of rocks in it, right? He wants a fallen. So this sounds like, could it be the cloister room? It does sound a bit cloister roomy, doesn't it? Right, that'd be cool. Right. Wow. Okay, I'm calling it. I think this scene is a cloister room. Right? Not seen since Peter Davison's days. Which was basically just a TARDIS set with a bunch of ivy wrapped around it. Fake ivy at that. Where about him? Phil Sizen says, well, that wouldn't fit. Look at the dimensions. The room, there's a room for a statue, but what about a statue head? I say, I like the idea. A great bit. a great giant statue head. Great. And then I spy a dog with a puffy tail and run after it, leaving behind. Okay. So now he's like okay. Russell, this stuff endears me to you. Endears you to me, I should say. I like it when you do that. That is funny. I mean, maybe that's I haven't seen enough of Russell D. Davies actually enthusing about Doctor Who. That really helps as well. But just not about all your gay shit. That's all I've seen recently. Just your gay shit. Oh, God. Just calm down with your gay shit, Russell. Nobody's stopping you, suck a dick. So Phil also needs to make some adjustments to the sketch. Adding an 8-foot high, ancient sculpted head. When the cut of ours resends the sketch back, the head sketch too, and it's great. But and once that's okay, he quickly draws a revised sketch with precise dimensions. Then our supervising art director Robin Paper asks what she asked. So wait, who's this? Do we have a caption anywhere? Hang on, I want to know who I'm looking at. I don't know. That's wrong. I think Robin Paper struck me as a lady, right? Above. Interior Studio 3 and designer Paul Sims. Okay. This is Paul Sims. Hello, Paul Sims. How you doing? You big boy. You're a big boy. We're all very proud. Scores at Polyprops, if they have time, at short notice, they build a giant head and provide a quote, a giant quote and a quote. Please, quickly, please, they do. Quote provided. Budgets rearranged. Robin commissioned a giant head plus matching rubble, and as fast as she can on Wednesday, 31st of May, bang crash saw a new clatter. 4 working days later, a giant head is delivered to stage 3. I guess that's this bit over here. Giant head for stage 3. Listen, Russell, are you telling me that you weren't interested in a bit of giant head? I think you were, right? I think the only reason you wouldn't is because Jigsaw Monsoon got there first, mate, right? Okay. So they got the giant head delivered to stage 3 and at the end of Tuesday, June 6th. Okay, not long ago. It's polystyrene and polyurethane, in all the polystyrene polyurethane coated glory. But wait, hold on. The design isn't finished. Resends Phil a Photoshop paint over the head with the idea of blue markings on the face. Why? I don't understand the blue markings. Phil's thinking fast. He says, yeah, wonderful. Maybe tone down the blue, desaturate and go. But yes, off you go. A team of painters then spends a couple of hours sealing sealing, texturing and painting and sculpt on the day of the shoot, 6 a.m. Resend man, this is turning into a boring story. Well, you're telling us nothing. There's a giant head, right? I'm not interested in giant head anymore. I'm on paragraph 3, mate. Right? Into position of set, they bed it into the floor with grit and rubber. I mean, can we just see the bloody head? And scattered dust, they stand back, and it's beautiful. They did it for you. Then they cut the scene. And then, look, it's me wandering onto set. Coming to have a little shifty, but really to meet the guest star because, famous. Okay, I wonder who it is. Okay, is it real famous? Because all the people they said they've been famous haven't been, right? So I stand there, I look around. There's a giant head. Said, oh, that's nice. It's a giant head. Pastrine T nods. I say, that's a good idea. More nods. And then I say, it's amazing what you've got laying around, isn't it? God, your job's fun. Oh, there's a famous person. Bye. And off I go. I know nothing. Okay, it's a well-written piece. I can't argue that's not a well-written piece. That is a well-written piece. But Russell, we need a bit of welly. Okay, we need a bit of wedge. Right? All right. We need a bit of bling. That was cute, and that would work in a normal time when it hadn't been screaming how chicks with dicks are a normal thing, right? And screaming at me for not agreeing with you. But you have been, and that does put a poll on things. I have to tell you, Hate to tell you, make me old love. But yeah. So a quick look at a couple of news. I see what's doing in the Doctor Who news. I got a few things open up, but I don't think anything new. Something about the Magic the Gathering, Doctor Who, don't care. Okay, spoilers include the 10th. I don't care. Mark Gasol wants to play the Doctor. Maybe that ship has sailed. Oh, you played it once. Well, I will take a look at that. Again, it was so weird seeing him in Mission Impossible with an American accent for a scene. It's just strange. I didn't really understand. Mark Gasol wants to, well, I mean, like you did it on what's the name night on what's it called again? On Doctor Who night. Do I have that sketch? Hang on 1 second. It was also the cover of Doctor Who magazine. Mark Gatiss. Doctor Who magazine cover. There you go. Boy, get straight up. Yeah. So you were that Doctor one for one night only. You weren't wrong, mate. You weren't wrong. All those years ago. Superfan excited to see Shootigat incarnation. I was, but now I'm I don't know what to be. I'm bracing. Ooh, I'm clamped. I'm feeling verklempt. I'm clenching. Don't make me clench. Shooty mate. You may like a clench, and I can see by you're flexing. You like a bit of clenching. But I'm not a fan of the clench. I'm a fat Jewish guy. We don't clench. Right? And yeah, we just go to the bathroom occasionally just to wipe our ass because, it's kind of like a bag of raked leaves that's not done up properly, one's anus. Yeah, we're not. I'm not. Was it Klempers? No, now you may be verklempt. Anyway, I digress. So Michael says he will seize any opportunity to an opportunity to play the Doctor, but doesn't expect that anything will present itself anytime soon. Well, if he can't get it for the 60th, he can't get it at all. They have to play various roles in Doctor Who over the years, including villainous Professor Lazarus, that was crap, and Captain Archibald Hamish Lethbridge Stewart, which was much better a decade later. He maintains a relationship with showrunner Rusty Davies, recently collaborated with him on the ITV drama Nolly, but is skeptical about if he'll be called on to do a top job. I always loved, I really enjoyed Nolly, but I loved him as Larry Grayson. I thought he was great. I thought that was great. Of course, I'd like to be told the Guardian. Well, the first thing you want to do is not talk to the Guardian, right? Being sued by Noel Clarke. Good for you, Noel Clarke. I hope you smash them into oblivion. That'll be great. But I think that ship has sailed. He went on to throw his unequivocal support behind the incoming Ncuti Gatwa, directing particular praise towards his sharp fashion sense. That's make me hate him. Oh my God, his sharp fashion sense is a nightmare. Can you tone down that sharp fashion sense, darling? It's a bit much. It's doing my bloody head in. Can I have a bit less sharp fashion sense and a bit more, I don't know, not dressing like a freak? How about that? How about that little combination? Would that be a good plan for you? Yeah, that'd be a good plan for me too. He was on Instagram. They must John Pertwee's dress, and I was thrilled. John Pertwee was my doctor, and I adored him. Well, when he said he dressed like a slut. That means a different thing to me, I think, Shooty. Right? The actor joke. If I were the Doctor, I'd wear nothing. A radical new approach. I'll be the first naturist Doctor. I wouldn't be surprised. Bloody hell! Don't tell Shooty. He'll have his duds off in a second. Oh my God! Keep that to yourself, Mark. Right? Keep that to yourself. Mark, Shooty have his meat and 2 veg out before you can say, John Barrowman. Yeah. Right? Don't do that. There you go. 1 second. Where's the remote control for the A6? I'm getting warm in it. I don't leave it in the other room. That was dumb of me. Never mind. At least it wasn't in for me. Fine. Everyone would. Guess well done for Doctor Who having written 9 episodes of the revived series. I'm quite a blah, 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 blah. Victory of the Flood, the Daleks, blah, blah, blah. He recently starred. No, he didn't. He was in one scene in Mission Impossible. Fine. So yeah, this was I thought was the story. The Doctor Who fans can get the new Sean Exura pre-order yours. No, they can't. This broke the interwebs. This broke character options. Like completely destroyed. Their site went down and they're sold out. Now, I think I have a screen grab. You can get them on eBay for like coming up to £100. And I thought they were overpriced at 30, right? It's like I thought £100. Are you kidding me? Like I was the mate, and they were going, right? It's not like they weren't going, but yeah, here it is. I found it. It's and there were a few to choose from. Yeah, 1 second. Where am I? Showing the wrong screen. Let me get the control. Doink. Share screen. Yeah, £93.34. Bloody hell. All right, that's just, I mean, like, and it's okay. I don't mind this Sonic, right? It's okay. By the way, yeah, do you remember the awful Doomsday comic from Doctor Who magazine last month? The artist Rush Leach has released the inks of it, and boy, does that tell a different story. The inks are really good. What the coloring must have killed it, right? Is this it? There you go. No, I think that's quite strong, right? Let me pull up the colored page on over here. But I honestly, I think that's really quite decent work, I would say, right? It's got a good lightness. It's got good movement in the page. Nice dramatic. Good design. I like it. I like the whole thing. I think it's actually quite good. Yeah, let's try and find the colored version. I think it must be the coloring that killed it. Is it? I'm trying to find. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. And yeah, it is. It's the coloring that killed it. Oh my god. So you got that. I think that's a solid page, right? I think that's a solid page of work. What did they give it? Colored by AI. And here's the here. Let me just make this. Hang on. Page overview. Come back. I'm down. Every time I see that, I cringe. Like, really, I mean, I do. It's the most cringeable thing ever. There we go. Yeah. See, that makes all the boldness and all that just destroys the page. They must have paid bulkers for the coloring. All right, let's go back and look at the other one again. There it is. Yeah, that's really bad. let me have a look, see who the colorist is, see if I know who it is. Because I don't think I should say, but if it's somebody yeah, I've never heard of the person, but I can't imagine they paid them much for it, right? Because those inks are strong, right? They are very strong. Here's another page he did with Capaldi, and I think the other one, he very clearly look at this from a couple of years ago, this from this year. Look how much he's developed as an artist. Yeah, so I think he's getting a really unfair rap, right? I think he's getting a very unfair rap. You know who didn't get an unfair rap? Look at it. I got a bunch of rumors about what went down in the Chibnall years, right? So I'm gonna read it now, and it's crazy, right? Man, it goes on forever. Here we go. So this is from about 2 years ago. Here's some production issues that people knew about during the Chibnall years, right? So they said there was an arrogant attitude with the handover, convinced they would make things better than the current team. That I believe. Oh yeah, don't you believe that? Yeah, again, that sounds completely real. Yeah, we'll film 2 seasons back to back. We've got 1 in the can. Low as if, dude. I really believe that, right? I believe them having an arrogant attitude coming in because that's what it seemed. Maybe that arrogance made for them to have absolute garbage, right? Like maybe that's the reason. And over maybe too much coke. Could it be? I mean, they're having too much of a coke and a smile. Sounds likely. Anyway, where are we up to? Offering people in current posts a chance to stay on in a more junior position under people less experienced, which is pretty insulting, really. Incredibly late scripts, far more so than usual on the show. And that's saying that because Rossi, David, and Moffat were notorious for late scripts, right? Once during season 12 and also during season 13, they had to pause for up to 2 weeks because they didn't have anything ready to film. Now, and that was what people span out from the Chaos in Cardiff narrative with Chibnall race quitting as the rumor quickly overtook fact. Again, doesn't that sound credible? Because you remember that rumor that like Chibnall had gone, he was not there. Right, and they had Pete Mateague was holding the floor, and it was like, what's going on? Right, what the hell? It turns out no, he was just at home writing because they didn't have any workable scripts. Oh man, the reality is it just is very palpable in this one, right? But also during season 13, they had to put so these pulls for 2 weeks. So one of the directors, the director of the Resolution, I won't say his name, absolutely hated filming it, right? I think it was the director anyway. Not just because the interior stylist says sucks to film, but also to look at, which is fairly public knowledge. He said as much at a convention, but he wanted to walk away when he read the first draft quality of the script. Yeah, that's true. Right, quality of the script he was given. Chibnall took him down the pub, admitted they'd all fucked up by booking the gang into Comic-Con, which meant therefore they couldn't be Yaz's story as planned, and they literally bashed out a few story ideas with him there and there. Yip had to give up 2 days shooting time to allow the script to be rewritten. He vowed never to work on Who again. Well, we Chibnall's Who, I say. So the exec on Broadchurch at season 11-12 quit after a blazing row with Chibnall because the scripts weren't up to scratch. I mean, look, I kept saying somebody has to bloody tell him, right? Somebody has to tell him. This is fascinating. So the BBC Studios thinks the Chibnall era is a terrible disaster from a marketing hype perspective. This I know to be a fact, right? BBC are apoplectic with its failure. I mean, one thing, Hamas is not well liked in Israel. They are a Jew-hating terrorist group, right? But they are much more despised than Egypt. You know why? Because they keep failing to get the Jews, right? They keep failing, and they're just an embarrassment to Arabs. So the same thing. BBC, they just hate them because they failed, right? Same thing. They wanted also they wanted a season. Yeah, others at BBC were also unhappy. I understand that the head of BBC Studios fell asleep during the preview of Revolution, and they just rolled their eyes to high heaven when the show's mentioned. Yeah, they brought that man. Well, you mean exactly like the John Nathan Turner years, right? Where they saw people like shrink away as they walked in. This is hilarious. Was it the was it Charlotte Moore? Apparently, the BBC content officer, chief content officer, said he's now far behind with his writing, and I don't know what to say anymore. Get somebody else in. You're a moron for not firing. If this is true, you're a moron for not firing him, right? And replacing him with Paul Cornell, with anyone, right? And Chibnall's a moron for not bringing in more writers. So he had to get a female writer to co-write at least one of the specials because he was snowed under. Her name was Ella something. Yeah, was it Ella Carmen Greenhill? Yeah, they got it basically because she was a lesbian, and that was the one where Yaz came at the doctor or Icky Thump. I want to scissor with you, just like I read in that primary school book. Oh, Icky Thump. I go into a bit more about the second of the specials was very chaotic. That'll be the Sea Devils one, right? ITYA. I don't know what ITYA, but it lost another entire monster. Was it? What's ITYA? Oh, one second. Never look at a Jodie episode guide. Doctor Who episode guide. It sounds like those Chibnall names you can never remember. More. Okay, Village of the Angels. Eve of the Daleks. No, the Vanquisher. But there was more episodes. Hang on. I'll look at Wikipedia. So no, I'm on the wrong thing. Oh, this is just annoying me now. Doctor Who episode guide. Yeah, episode guide. I mean, I'm sure this will be worth it when we work it out. Fine. Okay. Oh, gotta look at Jodie's. Help me. What's the name? ITYA. Legend of the Doctor? No. Eve of the Daleks, Legend of the Sea Devils, Vanquishers, Survival of the Flux. I don't know. I don't care. Okay, that's right. I don't care. Fine. That okay, I don't know, and I don't care. Lost of Time monster in editing. They originally had a scene where that must have been Not in that Calm. What's the name of that episode there? That was wasn't that Spyfall? Yeah, she was in Spyfall, wasn't she? She didn't come back in any other ones. I think she was in Spyfall. I don't know. Fine. Well, what was up to? Where gets executed at Dachau concentration camp. Really? Before exec said no way. I heard that, right? And then when it came out, it wasn't there. I was like, oh, thank God. That was just a silly rumor. That one was cast almost last minute. I had no clue he was going to be do this big TTC timeless child monologue. He says so in an interview. He even said it. In a story which has been spotted filming with various actors playing 19th century Chinese pirates, at least one source speculated it might involve a Chinese queen, Zhang Yi So. This is a story I believe that was yes, that was the Sea Devil one. Where am I? Okay, so they're talking about season 13. That they have serious issues with making this episode. They were massively panicked about it. Well, they said this, they didn't have money for it. Apparently, they had almost finished filming and discovered that whatever the story is, who they've cast is something highly offensive to the Chinese. They pay a lot of cash, and so distribution is horrified. Apparently, some Chinese council or whatever saw the script and was appalled. I also the fashion design, the costume design was just embarrassingly bad, right? Could be something generally racist sensitive. I've heard that, right? So they had to. So that's probably why they had to hack our way under 10 minutes of it or so. Man, that is all fascinating. And that's all the rumors I got, right? I was expecting BBC to go with Imran Khan. Instead, they reduced the feminine. Yeah, I did a tick box. That's why, but I think that's what happens, right? Because they come up with stupid ideas that they shouldn't do, right? And there's somebody somewhere says no, and then they got that everything's falling apart, right? The Indiana Jones, it was so set up for Phoebe Waller-Bridge to take over from Indiana Jones, right? To step into a whole Indiana Jones hole in history, right? And fill and fill that. You can see that's what it was trying to like, and because they took it out, it didn't. It just went in every way. It would have imploded more if they did that, because that's stupid. Fine, that is fascinating. Do we have time to look at this article? Yeah, okay, we're going to go for it, right? Because this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Right, Screen Rant outdoes itself. It really genuinely does. Here we go. 10 reasons a female Bond would work for Bond 26. No, it fucking wouldn't. How do you have a misogynistic, damaged murderer, assassin, right? Who has mummy issues and replaces it with MI5 as a female, you dumb moron. 7 men have played James Bond. But so far, it's high time the infamous Y franchise had a female lead instead. Why? I mean, then it won't be the same character, you dumb cunt. It's high time. Meh. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like, normally we said women were people with vaginas, but they said it's high time people with penises can be women too. That makes about as much fucking sense. Okay, James Bond. James Bond is a series of machismo for decades. So yeah, you're not hearing yourself. It's high time a women's sex industry. Well, how are you macho then? That's with Sean Connery originating role, Dr. No, the British spy has a fascinating film, goes to 25 movies. Even more, the movies in Fleming won over audiences with MI6 thrilling international missions and romantic endeavors. So how do you like men and women are interchangeable? How about interchanging James Bond for an eggplant? Why not? I mean, eggplant is about the same, Many have gone to play on polarizing responses, ranging from one-timer George Lazenby to critically acclaimed Daniel Craig, who retired the role in 2021, No Time to Die. Nobody cast James Bond till this is over. Fine. Let's just go. Number 10. No Time to Die ending allows for Bond 26 to a massive reboot. Insight, not James Bond. This is just dumb. We've already had 25 years of male James Bond actors. So what? Yes. You know why? Because it's a male role. He's a misogynist, you... Oh, God. Replacing its lead actor is the secret of James Bond franchise longevity. You think? Well, I mean, the fact that it's Sean Connery retired or dead or both at this point, do you think that might have, been a little bit of a problem for him to go back and do No Time to Die? But despite every James Bond actor representing a different physical pattern, they're all like white men. Some factors have always been common. Bond is always portrayed by a smart-talking gentleman, man, yes, who shows up in a sleek suit and has his way with women. All this is saying male to me, right? And prefers more to be second, not third. With 7 actors and 25 movies, the persona for male James Bond is bound to become oversaturated. No, never. Just like dumb cunts like you are, I gotta say, are always female, but I don't know. Are you a man trapped in a woman's body? 1 second. Let's have a look at you. Sha'urua Fapa. Oh, no, you're just a pussy. My mistake. Okay, you're not a girl, you are a pussy. Oh dear. I don't understand this movie. Yeah, okay. Number 8, iconic models are becoming more diverse. And what happened? Other people have done it, and it's always resulted in exactly the same thing. Like, always resulted in complete and total failure. Right? When has it worked? Like, in terms of being a critical success, in terms of metrics, how we decide things are good or bad. Right? When has it ever worked? Let's have a quick look at the rating, shall we? 1 second. And you know those spikes? They were men, even gay men, but men nonetheless. Having yielded sound like Ghostbusters yielded mixed results. You mean it was shit and everybody hated it? There are some positive examples, like Doctor Who. That's not a good result. That's not a good result. That's complete failure. And that's what the BBC thinks, right? Oh, God, stop. A woman will play James Bond sooner or later. No, they won't. James Bond's core characters are not male exclusive. What, misogyny, women hating? Try to explain this one to me, Brain Trust. James Bond's general image establishes him as a flirtatious Casanova. That's kind of a bloke, dude. It's kind of normally a bloke. But beyond that, this is shenanigans with the most iconic Bond girls. He's a valiant... So that's kind of a central aspect of it, right? He's a valiant spy with high regard for humanity. Not really, no. Daniel Craig's outings like Skyfall and No Time to Die proved how he is willing to cross all limits and protect his close ones like M or Madeleine. What? M got killed and Madeleine he died for, right? This heroic outlook can very well translate to a female one. No, I mean, again, only if you're insane, right? Are you sitting there eating your own foot at this time? And these are the general qualities that go beyond gender. A female Bond can save the world and protect MI6 compatriots in the very same... No, not in the very same way as a male predecessor. Have you never seen a woman? That's what's happened, isn't it? You never touched a woman, have you? Oh, I can tell. I feel bad for you, right? I do feel bad for you. But, it'll happen one day, darling. It will happen one day for you. I'm sure it will. I think it can. Yeah, you gotta be positive, but darling, right? You gotta be super duper positive. Just keep going. I think I can. Yes, I can. One day a woman will talk to me, and I'll know what a woman is then. Oh yes. One day you will, darling. One day you will. Very exciting for you. Now I've lost my spot. There you go. Oh, no, we're back. Oh, what? I did. 1 second. Got reopen. There you go. Close my. The casting of it is up the potential for more well-defined female. The casting opens up for a more well-defined female Bond villain. It's Ruku Pukupu, whatever your fucking name is. Who's gonna watch this movie? Like, who's watching this movie? I'm really intrigued to see what Barbie's numbers are going to be like. Man, I hope it has a giant fall off. So dumb. There are no further female actors to fit the part. No, there is no female actor to fit the part because it's a male part. A female Bond would undo the fact that there's misogynistic past. Well, why would we want to do that? That's the character. Right? Yes, it would have, and also undo the franchise, undo the character. I understand you don't like that part of the character. I get that. But that's still the character, whether you like it or not, you spoiled little cunt. Spoiled little pussy virgin cunt. And I'm saying virgin, not in a complimentary way. James Bond has a quite questionable character from a feminist lens. Yeah, he's a misogynist. Especially with more Sean Connery. And also Pierce Bronson, and also Timothy Dalton, and also George Lazenby. In case of the two Bond veterans, the spy was reduced to nothing less than harassment in some scenes, and then he got laid. James. Conrad's Bond, for instance, forced himself on villainous pussy galore. Oh, well, I bet you are. Fizzy things like that, Patricia Fearful and Thunderball. Well, false is a strong word. The little bitch wanted it, is what Sean would say. Then there's also more concerning age gap between Moore's Bond 53 and his heroine Carol Bonkai and one quit in Fiora's Only. Yeah, she looked hot. Yeah, you're not really following this, are you, darling? You're just a moron. It could follow in line with facts like Mission Impossible and John Wick. Yeah, no, I think you'll notice that Ethan Hunt is still a bloke, as is Keanu Reeves. It would end the debate who would be the next chick. No, really? It would end the debate, would it? Well, that makes it good enough then. Oh, thank God for that. I mean, it will destroy the character and lose billions of dollars, but thank God for that. Thank God. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, let's do that. That you moron. Oh, you absolute moron. I mean, really, I'm saying that in the most complimentary way possible. You absolute cockwomble moron. That's the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. I'm dumber for reading it. Still not as dumb as David Zaslav for Blue Beetle. Who do you think was going to, I mean, whoever it was, who do you think was going to watch this? So, yeah, Superman Legacy features Middle East conflict. Please, not Israel. Because you guys know nothing about Israel. Right? Here's the deal. Yes, Israel is it's not a symmetrical conflict. We are massively more powerful than Palestinians. The Palestinians are 100% the aggressors. They will die rather than live with us in peace. Right? That's 100% it. That be some quiet, blah, blah, blah. Workplace origin story. I have no idea what that means. According to Abdul, there's some kind of Middle East conflict in the story of Superman Legacy that has every Crusader's attention, including Superman, fighting for the right to the right solution to the crisis. Puts him at odds with other heroes. Please don't be Israel, right? Because, man, you are such morons. You guys just lap up all of Hamas's like insane rhetoric. There was a reasonably good adaptation of Childhood Ends by the guy who did Life on Mars. But like as the aliens came here and they brought peace, by force, right? They there was one moment where they took down the fences, the barriers between the Israelis and the Palestinians, and we all started dancing with each other. No, what would happen is the Palestinians would then slaughter us all, right? Fucking moron. Oh, but it's just because they're it's a legitimate outpouring of rage. Well, what was January 6th? Oh, that was insurrection. Sound of Freedom producer Eduardo Vescero reveals Disney demanded more money after they passed on the film. Oh, I as happy as I am for this film, I'm happy with this guy. Right, he's been on the circuit promoting it. I really hope it's I hope it gets 150 million. Right, it's doing great. So much more do they want? After we finished the film, almost 4 years ago, I made a beautiful deal with Fox Latin America. It was beautiful. It was one movie, it was a documentary, it was a TV series, many other things. But then after that deal, months later, we didn't see what was coming. Disney bought Fox, and so the deal was left. So now I'm at Disney, and I show the movie to them, and they told me this movie is not for us. I say, okay, well, not everything is for everybody. I understand. But just give me my movie back. And they're like, no, fuck you. We don't want anybody to see this. And they said, yes, well, you owe us some money, because the debt that you had before with Fox, now it belongs to us. So he says, I know, but that was about the documentary. What about what about documentary and the TV series? What was I going to say? What about documentary and TV series? And what about the money you owe me too? Because you said when I finished the film, they were going to pay me this amount. So we started negotiating for a year. And yeah, Disney can make it last for a year, right? So it was 1 year. At the end, we negotiated. Next deal was not only Disney passing the film, but Netflix and Amazon did as well. Yeah, because, they don't want their pedos to, that work for them to be frustrated in getting children. They're talking about putting on YouTube. Praying to God. I love that he always gives everything to God. This guy is fantastic. As they found Angel Studios. In the video, Hammer said this film has been through the ringer, blah, blah, blah. But when they ask for more money? Howard later clarifies comments in an email. To clarify the comment, Disney didn't distribute Sound of Freedom for reasons of unknown to us. God, give it an idea. No. Oh, okay. I'm out of energy, mate. I'm out of energy. Fine. I have to wrap up. 7:15. I have to wrap up. Countdown Crash Schools. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. And who else is here? Jonathan Cox. Thank you for joining. Anybody I missed? I do apologize. The Sabbath is coming. I have 25 minutes before the actual Shkia, which is the beginning of Sabbath. I normally like to have a bit more time. So I'm going to have to hit the end broadcast button. I'm back on Sunday. Going to hit the end broadcast button.